All right, everybody. Game number 1 is starting up. We have TempoStorm versus the HotDog Burglars. This is the winner bracket of the End of the Storm North America Finals. We're currently in the round of 8. We have TempoStorm currently on second ban and second pick. And a ban on Zagara, denying the top lane solo laner already. And TempoStorm gets rid of Zool. All right, so again, a bit of a different draft pattern. This is the cool thing about having a new hero in play. There's teams that completely disregard them, that are basically saying like, yeah, we don't care one way or another. For example, Cloud9 in the last series. And, well, right now we have the HotDog Burglars with an opportunity to go into whatever they want to pick first. I mean, you can on this map play a Falstad, you can play with a Meridian early on. They play a Thrall in this case, which I don't really find surprising. It's a little bit unorthodox to go for him this early these days. I feel like he's moved back a little bit, usually for the second pick. But Thrall, of course, is great at the top lane still, so they have at least one lane bully. They got rid of Zagara. They can put Thrall at the top lane, which is pretty nice. They have him for the team fights. It's good as well. But they give TempoStorm, Greymane, Li Ming, no matter what they want at the beginning, they can go for it. They could go into, for example, Muradin as well if they really want to have like that dwarf right away, which Cloud9 prioritizes so highly. So Li Ming already locked down here. And yeah, let's actually see. Oh, a Zeratul early on for TempoStorm. Now, of course, Zeratul is very strong as well in the setup. But yeah, we could actually see some Zeratul action here. Like a very cool pick. Zeratul overall is just like awesome to watch because he's extremely dangerous. Can go for very cool setups as well. A very early Zeratul choice here for Tempo if they go through with it. And the HotDog Burglars, I mean, they can still react to that. First of all, if they really want to draft like some kind of support combo that is more centered around Tassadar to have the Oracle available, they could do that. They could also adjust their build on any kind of support to have a bit of vision, like, for example, Rhaegar with a Farsight on level 7. In this case, though, they want to have that Tassadar that I just mentioned, as it seems. So Tassadar is currently being locked down. They want to have a bit of counterplay against Zeratul. With Thrall, Tassadar is actually not bad either. You can then later on add a second support to the setup here, too. Muradin can still be chosen, but they seem to prefer Johanna over that. Johanna, of course, has the advantage over Muradin that she can use the Shield Glare to reveal Zeratul, and also, of course, to make sure that he gets a couple of misses in as well, which is pretty sweet, too. So, let's see. TempoStorm at this point with the second ban. And I mean, you can still ban out range damage. So it depends a little bit on what Tempo wants to go for when it comes to additional damage. But Greymane, for example, is still around. Lunara is still available. You can ban one of those out if you are afraid that... Falstad as well, by the way, now that I look at it. Yeah, Falstad is actually still available. So that's not too bad either. It's actually like pretty scary as well. Because Falstad on this map is pretty sweet, since the cool thing about Falstad is you can fly to the top lane at any point in time and just like simply jump in and say like, alright, I helped the top lane out to get a kill there. So you can lurk somewhere on the lanes, and then if you see an opportunity, you fly into one of these bushes and you start to ambush the hero up at the top. But Tempo is doing what we expected. They go for a ban on a range damage dealer. Greymane is in their case their choice, so they don't want to go for Greymane themselves. They could still easily lock down the Falstad here if they wanted to. The HotDog Burglars, on the other hand, they could ban out a frontliner. They could ban Muradin, for example. I actually think that Muradin would be a pretty sweet ban for them right now. It would, yes, and there we go. Muradin is going to be banned, and that will force TempoStorm to adjust a little bit. Not really a massive deal, but it's definitely, like, of course, making the plays also of Thrall a bit easier overall here. So I kind of like the choice of TempoStorm, of the HotDog Burglars to go for the particular ban. Now, TempoStorm, they still need heal, so they can go into Rhaegar if they want to. With Zeratul, that wouldn't be too bad. They can try and play maybe with a second range here, a Falstad. I would really like to see a Falstad here from them. Depends a bit on what they want to play at the front line, because the problem if they're going to go into a Falstad is that I could actually see a Chen. I could actually see a Chen being played if you go for a solo frontliner. If they go for a double frontline setup, then it's a bit different. They could maybe start things off even... Oh, they go for Morales, okay. General Morales never dies. There are a couple of interrupts, though, against Chen. I guess you have to be a bit careful if you really want to play him. Oftentimes, Chen is being used against the Zagara at the top lane, but with the Lunara now also taken, they definitely need a heavy hit point frontliner. ETC is still around. I'm just not sure if you can get away with like playing an ETC in this setup, since he would be the only frontliner, and you can burst him down. And there's quite a lot of interrupts against the potential mosh pit. So if Lunara is really getting locked down now, and that's the case, then they need a heavy frontline tank. And I mean, I personally, like going through them in my head right now, I really feel like an ETC, as like a Chen might even be their best option here. It depends a bit on how many additional interrupts are going to come into play right now for the HotDog Burglars. Jaina is being taken now. Okay, so that would work. False step, by the way, completely disregarded by both of the teams here. Nope, they go and switch into a Rhaegar for this. Are they going to play the Illidan style again? Jaina. With Jaina would be nice. You can play also with that Rhaegar Illidan, I suppose, but then you are very weak on the range damage side because you are only relying on Tacita. You have Thrall and Illidan at the front line and a massive line of support behind that. So Jaina would be the more traditional pick here for sure. With Tacita, they can then still go into a second support. And even with Jaina, going into Tacita Rhaegar would work because Thrall is going to be very thankful about that since he can go really ham. Like, there's no go home in the go ham, go home quotation anymore if you have that Rhaegar in there, because Thrall is only going to go one direction, and that's forward. Heals, 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 shields, and Ancestral is going to hit him hard once that he's about to drop. But yeah. Besides that, I mean, you could think about going into... I'm not sure if I would play Tyrande. Tesla Tyrande is quite popular. If anything, then maybe even a Brightwing over a Rhaegar. If anything, because they have a little bit more vision, but I still like that Rhaegar pick a lot. I feel Rhaegar is a very cool addition to that setup. They have a very sustainable comp with a single frontliner. And, oh, Stitches! Ah, my bad. Now I feel a little bit silly. I was really thinking through all of the tanks, and I completely forgot about Stitches. Yes, he works as well as a solo frontliner. My bad. I was totally focused here on that Chen, but Stitches, of course, very good point. Like, completely slipped my mind. So, yeah, I feel a little bit silly right now. Stitches has been claimed together with Lunara. He's, of course, pretty strong, so he can go into a slam build, doesn't even have to go into a hook build. But this is a bit old school, even if you go for a good Stitches hook and you go for Fishing Hook on level 16 if you want to. Then you can just, like, get a long-range hook in. Zeratul jumps over, puts the Void Prison between the target that you hooked and the enemy, so they can't really get close to you, and then you just burst it down and you're all good. So that's a pretty sweet setup. Yep. Stitches is definitely a good choice here, so my apologies. And TempoStorm versus the HotDog Burglars, and we're going to go into game number 1 here on Dragonshire. Game number 1 on Dragonshire is starting up now here in the round of 8 at the end of the Storm North America Finals. We have TempoStorm in blue going up against the HotDog Burglars. 3 on Stitches currently at the front line for TempoStorm, 6 on Morales. We have Goku on Zeratul, KO on Lunara, and Soldier on Liming. To the right side of the map, Matt Timmy playing for the HotDog Burglars here on Rhaegar. We have Yoda on Jaina, Trader on Tacita, Hao on Thrall, and we have Boss Floss on Johanna. The best of 3 series kicking off on Dragonshire, as already mentioned, and Stitches is going currently into the tank build with a Hungry for More as the level 1 talent. We're also seeing now the natural perspective taken, so a bit of additional vision thanks to Lunara. And on level 1, the Force Armor taken by Liming. That being said, we have still Deep Chill on the side of Jaina, so we're not going into any kind of Conjurer's Pursuit talent or into the Lingering Chill here, but adjusting slightly. And a bit of a minion block is already ongoing here, as we see the red team starting to head straight into the middle. So in this case, a bit of a slight mini battle happening. Oh, here comes that hook against Yoda. That's actually the perfect hook for Stray. This is the one hook that you want to get, the one against Jaina. So if you can repeat that a bit later on in the game, that's probably going to cause some kills there. We have, as expected, Thrall at the top lane right now, and he's going up against Goku, whereas everybody else is going to start that rotation between the middle and the bot lane. It's all about map control here. It's really just like trying to push the lanes back, trying to get the visions over the shrine, over the dragon statue. You're always trying to, of course, also get the control. So coordination is, in this case, really everything. Yoda is the one that is missing at this point. So they're playing 1-1-3 right now and are not trying to meet the rotation that we're seeing on the side of TempoStorm. So TempoStorm is currently a really nice control in this case. The one reason why the bot lane on this map is really so important, why you actually have like more heroes at the bottom of the map than at the top, is that you have these 2 additional camps to the left and to the right where you see the siege giants. So if you would put too many heroes up to the top, you would allow your opponent to just go for both of these camps, get even more lane pressure at the bottom of the map, and you always try to avoid that, of course. So having this many heroes at the bottom makes you a little bit safer when it comes to these camps as well. And if your opponent at some point makes a strong rotation to the top lane, you can hold it for a bit longer, then you have always an opportunity to go for the camps down here and put additional pressure on the lanes. Talking pressure, we have now one of those shrines in the hands of each team, but already Hao is starting to take the one at the top lane, and Goku, I'm not quite sure if he can really like face Thrall in this setup. I doubt it highly. We're seeing Thrall taking Shrine number 2. Goku moves in. Hao can't really do too much about that just yet. He's going onto lane first for the experience. And level 4 is, of course, going to be quite important, so they are going to try and soak that. But we have still a move down to the bot lane right now, where TempoStorm is attempting to get the second Shrine to go for maybe even a first Dragon Knight. Vorpal Blades for Zeratul. Zeratul, by the way, in a bit of a battle with Thrall at the top, and as you can imagine, Thrall is going to win this one. And for now, they're just making sure that nobody takes the Dragon Statue. Nice move here, Boss Floss gets away, using, of course, once again the Iron Skin. Besides that, though, we're having, again, Charge Blast taken. We're seeing also the Vorpal Blades plus the upgraded Ballistics here after the prolonged safeguard. So no trauma trigger for the medic. Again, Zeratul is trying to take it away. Hao is just moving between Shrine and Minion Wave. Shrine and Minion Wave the entire time. So he's going to reclaim the Shrine. Zeratul can't face him alone at this point. But basically, Thrall needs to make sure that he gets the experience as well. Very nice shift on the side of Traitor. But they're starting to lose the Shrine at the bottom of the map now once again. Johanna went also straight into the Amplified Healing, which is a pretty cool talent if you're playing with the Rhaegar, since of course those, like, I don't want to say passive heals, but like the indirect ones, if Rhaegar goes for another main target, are still going to give you quite some decent healing numbers. So it's a pretty cool talent to get. Khaldor himself with the Mental Acuity on level 4 for the cooldown reduction on his Oracle, so he can use his he can use that quite a lot as trade to make sure that he gets the vision on the map, and that's going to be great, especially against Zeratul, who they of course always want to keep tabs on, so that he can't just like simply jump in and use that Void Prison without them knowing about his positioning. On level 4, again, the Snowstorm taken. When it comes to the fights, Johanna is still struggling a bit in the mid lane against KO. Lunara is just incredibly annoying here with a Nimble Wisp as the level 4 talent. Up to the top lane now, still have high pressure with Yoda and Hao both going for the wall. And Goku had to, of course, yield those 2 towers. So that drops an earlier level 7 into the hands of the team in red, which also adjusts on level 7 with Rhaegar going into the far side now over the potential cleanse against the hooks that we could have seen here. Farside is going to make that, of course, a very interesting play for Zeratul, since he now has a lot of vision against him. And even on Jaina, we see the adjustment with the Frost Armor taken, so Zeratul is going to have a very tough time really leeching onto her with the Vorpal Blades and trying to take her down. Stitches himself with the Amplified Healing and also Tenderizer as a level 7 talent, so going more into like a sustain attack, sustain build. The Splintered Spear on 7 for Lunara. Seeker now, so full missile build so far on the side of Li Ming. And we're seeing a follow through for Zeratul himself. Still the Kala's Embrace though for Tassadar, no surprise there. And besides that, we also have no conviction taken for the movement speed on Johanna. Pretty fun talents actually, really nice setup overall. And already the HotDog Burglars in a lead when it comes to experience. So actually doing quite a decent job. And I mean, look at the top lane. Uh-oh, Goku and Hao, they're still fighting that battle. Hao actually trying to take a few of those, take the wall down as well. If he spams his abilities, he's going to get a bit more hit points back, and he actually escapes. Well played here. Dragon Knight fight is starting, and in this case, in the mid lane, there's a huge amount of pressure already against the blue team. So once again, the HotDog Burglars are really starting to make some plays here. The medic is a little bit afraid of moving on to the shrine at the bot lane. Six is finally starting to go in, but Trader is already trying to make sure that the Dragon Knight can be capped, and Yoda takes it. Nice delay by Tassadar at the bottom. Well played. And the first Dragon Knight for the HotDog Burglars. So TempoStorm, I don't want to say that they're in trouble, but they are definitely starting to lose some ground here. Level 9.5 already for Team HotDog Burglars, and they are apparently very eager to get that first four at the top lane. That of course also creates a lot of space right now in the middle of the map, where we see the rest of the team already try to push for additional structures. So level 10 is going to hit very soon. In this case, the Dragon Knight is waiting for some minions to actually enter the area around the keep. Good hook, trying to make sure that Yoda is not going to be able to get too many hits in with his battle axe. Early Dragon Knights, of course, not really doing a massive amount of damage just yet, but that's already enough to really severely drop the numbers on that fort. Everybody rotates top, and that opens some space up for the rest of the lanes to be pushed. The problem is that Yoda is also going to die now. Because, well, let's face it, with him really staying this long at the fort, he knew that he wouldn't get out of this. So he's putting the damage in, but he sacrifices himself here. Level 10 versus level 10 now. And the early level 10 was really not something that HotDog Burglars could capitalize on. I mean, yeah, they got some damage on the fort, but let's be honest here. they didn't really take down too much. Not quite sure it was really the best choice to go up to the top lane. I really feel that dropping the towers at the bot lane would have probably done a little bit more for them in the long run. For now though, we're having the level 10 abilities, Disintegrate. We're also seeing of course the Stim drone again. Zeratul is going to have some fun, and Lunara as well, depending on who's going to be the recipient of that talent. Void Prison already used. Here comes Hao on the other hand, using the Sun Ring from the back line. They're moving in. Stray already went straight into the Putrid Ball. Here comes Liming, lasering people away. They're still fighting over the camp, but it looks like the red team is finally going to cap the Siege Giants. They get the Siege Giants. Stray is getting away. How? Oh, the shield on Tassadar. A little bit too late. I could have maybe saved him, but I suppose that he wasn't cooldown in this case. So Thrall is dead. But still, overall, we're seeing the HotDog Burglars giving TempoStorm a run for their money. TempoStorm is able to make some plays here now, though. So if you consider like that roughly a minute ago they were really behind in experience, they're starting to really make their way up into this once again. They have now a slight lead in EXP. Cast it out with a Force Wall here. Not 100% certain why he would put the Force Wall in there. Like, that's the part that I don't really get. Because if it was like a play on the side of TempoStorm, they were going for the camp, putting the Force Wall here would maybe have made sense, but Trader was just like, I have it off cooldown, has a 12-second cooldown, so why not? Because I can. Zeratul taken down at the top lane. So Zeratul actually running into 3 heroes and being eliminated. He is going to have a tough game. I mean, like, there's so much vision against him. And finally, they are finishing what they started, getting a bit closer to level 13 with that now. But already, structures dropped at the bot lane too, where TempoStorm is trying to get some experience for themselves. And with the help of the 2 Siege Giants that they still have in position, they could at least try to take down the well here, to take a bit of a lane sustain away from the HotDog Burglars. We have already a bit of a play here in the middle of the map where Hao and Boss Floss need to be very careful. Stitches, of course, in the later stages is always going to look for these hooks, but right now the teams are aiming for 13. And that hits faster for the HotDog Burglars, where we now see the tidal waves chosen. Icy Veins for Jaina, alright. With the Frost Armor, she doesn't really feel the need to go into the improved Ice Block against Zeratul. We're also seeing after Wind Shear now also the Grace of Air taken. And I suppose that Johanna has actually a couple of options. I mean, Burning Rage is one of them. That can be a very annoying talent in these cases. If you're really afraid of Li Ming on the other hand, then even a Spell Shield can be used. But it's the damage that she goes for. It is the Burning Rage indeed. And now level 13 talents also for TempoStorm, who decide to go into the Spell Shield on Morales. So, a bit safer against especially the burst damage on Jaina. Here comes again the attack against Stray. Knocked down, but goes in with the Putrid Bile. We have unfair advantage and Glass Cannon taken. And here comes the setup. Setup being used, it's laser time, and down goes immediately Jaina. Jaina dead, the resets are strong, Zeratul is also falling, but another reset since we have Johanna fall as well. Good hook from Stray. They go for Thrall, the ancestral healing, Ancestral healing keeps him alive. And now we're having a 4 versus 3 situation on the map, with especially, of course, Soldier on his Liming getting quite a bit of damage out. Overall, 34,000 and 27,000 the damage output, and now with the move into the mid lane, we're seeing the first Dragonite for TempoStorm. They get Dragonite number 1, and now they can go through the first wall. He has 10-minute Dragonite at this point, so they are going to be able to get some damage in. The only hero that died so far is actually Zeratul. Those are the 2 deaths that TempoStorm had to suffer, but we have 4 kills for them. Taking down Jaina twice, taking down Thrall and also Johanna. And right now, they are just moving into the middle of the map. And another good hook against Jaina. Very well done here. Jaina really is starting to struggle a bit with the positioning against Stitches. It's always, of course, a problem if he gets that hook in, since Jaina is more on the squishy side. And if Zeratul is with you, then he can really start to leech onto her and take her down. Frost armor or no frost armor, that doesn't really matter at that point anymore. If you're in the middle of 4-5 heroes, then you are going to die. So to the top lane again, we have Goku now starting to get some experience. He was already there taking the waves down and forcing them back. So they're attempting to get a few of the structures again. And if they actually take the towers down over here, that would mean that they get a very good shot at level 16. Again the hook! And here there's Goku. Ring of Frost and Cone of Cold take down Goku though. So the hook was good, but they didn't really expect Hard to be there either. And Yoda had the burst damage to punish Zeratul hard. And Zeratul has a very... I want to say, like, he's not going to be too happy about this right now. Zeratul is probably just looking at this like, yeah, FML right there. 3rd kill against him. I think it's like 100% of the kills against TempoStorm were against Goku. So Goku is not enjoying this game much. I can promise you that. Level 16 talents for both of the teams are already starting to come into play. TempoStorm should be a little bit faster, a little bit closer to that, and there we go. So at level 16, they're going to have Mirror Ball. It's like a massive, massive focus on Seeker here, and or not on Seeker, on like the missiles. And of course with Mirror Ball now as well, you can really poke. After Relentless, Stitches decided to go obviously straight into his fishing hook. I mean, no slam talents for him whatsoever so far. After we saw down clear and the upgrade ballistics, we have now a second opinion also taken. So a massive grenade focus for Morales, even disregarding on level 13 with the priority on Spell Shield. It could go into the buddy thingy, where that heals yourself too. What's it called again? Well, you know what I mean, right? Couples therapy, there we go. Oh god, that took me a moment. How gets shielded after the hook. The hook's actually pretty decent from Stray. The problem is that they're not really getting too many kills out of those just yet. That's also true because Zeratul was still getting extra experience for them. But now he comes into play. Here comes the bubble. They're trying to go again for a kill. Goku needs to be careful. The kill against Thrall resets on Liming. Soldier again with a disintegrate. Here comes that hook against Johanna. And Boss Floss already used his trade. No chance to keep him alive. Double kill, another reset for Soldier. Liming is having fun. Numbing Blast on level 16 for Jaina. But she couldn't really use too much here in that fight. And we have now also the Shield Glare talent on 16 with the Holy Renewal, a little bit more self-sustained for Johanna herself. Not that it helped her a lot. The Rending Cleave on 16 taken for Zeratul. Nice disintegrate here, bursting the wave away and putting some extra damage also on the structures. And I mean, with the Arcane Orb and the full focus on the missile build, you can really tell how much damage Soldier can dish out. They're in the great position that they can actually even choose which hero to put into the Dragonite that they now get. So we have them with an entire level lead already. And they are starting to move straight through the middle of the map to go for another kill here against not only the fort, but potentially also the wall at the keep itself. So far, really well done. And, well, we're seeing them with very nice damage output as well. Especially, of course, Lunara. But also Li Ming. Soldier is doing solid work here. And Zeratul and everybody else is starting to rotate down now for the potential fight again, because things are getting serious once more. It's still even talents, but Stray's fishing hooks are very, very scary, especially for Yoda, of course, who is just barely able to get out of there. But we have, again, the focus against Goku. This time he's dodging all of those shots on the other hand. The grenade, again, put into place. Goku with the damage has to immediately wormhole back, though, because Yoda is ready with the Blizzard. But with those little battles going on, it means that the Dragonite actually has the time and leisure to simply go for the structures again. And that's the second fort that they were able to drop with him. So the Dragonite really getting some value for TempoStorm. And they are starting to close in on level 20, slowly and steadily. I mean, level 90 is going to be the next talent for them, but still, they're getting farther and farther ahead when it comes to experience. And the threat of the fishing hook is always there and forces now the HotDog Burglars back in these situations. So great play overall by TempoStorm. Again, the only hero that died for them is Zeratul. Everybody else has 0 deaths still. Nice damage poke again from Li Ming. Here comes Stray. He's being focused, but Li Ming with the damage ancestral is negating it. Nice sundering on the other hand, but not really any follow-up that could capitalize on them with a kill. And once more, Soldier just poking the entire time. They get the camp, so they steal that away, but there's again that hook. And of course there's Lunara with that slow and the kill against Rhaegar. Another reset for Soldier. He's just dropping those arcane orbs the entire time. The missiles just flying around, and then the disintegrate too. Boss Floss is low. In comes Goku. Ring of Frost not doing anything. Kill after kill after kill. Reset after reset after reset. And Li Ming is getting just the damage in together with Lunara. It's a quad kill. Could be the team wipe if Zeratul is able to leech on the trader, but at this case it's definitely going to mean that at least the keep is going to fall. Let's see if they try to push that through, maybe even towards the core. We're having the temporal flux now taken on 20. We're seeing the rewind. We have the Caduceus reactor and Stitches, of course, already on his hardened shield, and Lunara is going for the galloping blade. Now they jump in, they're trying to end the game, and I mean, why wouldn't they? They still have quite a couple of seconds. Rhaegar is going to be back in 2. The problem is that he himself is not going to be able to do too much here. Soldier is attacking Core and Tacita at the same time. Pokes the entire time, running out of mana, but it's not like it matters anymore. This is game 10 kills against 3 and the 1-0 lead that we are seeing now for Team TempoStorm against the HotDog Burglars at the end of the Storm North America. Game number 2, everybody. The second game between TempoStorm and the HotDog Burglars. So, the red team is going to try and steal a couple of hot dogs away, and in the meantime, they're also going to try and steal a map win away from TempoStorm, who are actually first pick, first ban in this particular setup now. We have, apparently, a ban on Falstad, first of all, on Infernal Shrines. We could still see Zool in this series. We have seen Zool a couple of times yesterday and already today in the games that Cloud9 played. But we could... hopes and dreams were crushed. Zool banned out by TempoStorm. HotDog Burglars, they might actually ban Leeming out after the last game. I mean, let's be honest, that had a pretty huge impact on how that game unfolded. So, nope, they want to get rid of Zeratul. Zeratul is actually like a very prioritized ban against a lot of teams. TempoStorm is strong with him, Cloud9 is strong with him, so Zeratul banned out. Tempo, they take Leeming. They're saying, alright, give more missiles, more orbs, and more disintegrates. Lasers just all day long. And for their opponent, the HotDog Burglars, now I want to really see if they're going into Johanna again, because Johanna made a lot of sense against that Zeratul, and of course it's to a certain extent also a matter of preference, but still, Muradin seems quite tempting. Gonozal, thank you very much for the resub, my friend. There's that Thrall again, they prioritize him very highly, and Muradin. I'm liking it. So Johanna has a bit of an adjustment in the last game to make sure that Zeratul is not going to get so many hits in because of the shield glare, but right now Muradin of course makes a bit more sense. Very sustainable for the fights on the shrines as is, with a high hit point pool, and Muradin and Thrall already have quite a little bit of CC that they have there. For TempoStorm, it's going to most likely be a Johanna that they're going for. When it comes to damage, Greymane would be a great choice for them. We actually seen quite a few bans on Greymane here today. And Greymane is, of course, amazing. I mean, he can go for the minions on the shrines quite easily. He has the cocktail build a poke, can go into Worgen form if he's pretty much alone for a couple of seconds there. But a Johanna wouldn't be a surprise. I think if TempoStorm doesn't pick Johanna now, there's actually a very good chance that the HotDog Burglars ban Johanna out, because Srey and TempoStorm are very, very known to prioritize Johanna quite highly. So with a Zagara, I find that curious, because I want to see what's going to be banned if they pick Zagara. If it's going to be a Johanna ban or if it's going to be an ETC ban. I feel against any other team, you probably go for a ban on ETC. That's at least very likely. But right now, I really want to see what the HotDog Burglars are going to do, because I personally feel that if you want to go for a target ban, you ban out Johanna here. But let's see how they're going to run this. I mean, I'm currently thinking about if they could theoretically pick ETC themselves, play Muradin ETC Thrall, but I think that would just be overdoing it a little bit. We still need them with some damage, and when it comes to range damage, there's of course still the option to go for a Jaina. There's Lunara around. Falstad hasn't been picked nor banned either, so that's another option depending on what TempoStorm bans out here. But what are the HotDog Burglars banning out? Are they going to go for a potential ban on Johanna and try to like target ban against TempoStorm? The problem is that Zagara with the Maw has a great setup for an ETC mosh pit, so that would still be very, very dangerous. But yeah, that's choices that you have to make here. And it's going to be pretty cool to see what's going to happen here now. Because that's two tanks that you're probably thinking about banning at this point. No, they ban Uther. The Falstad ban doesn't surprise. But Uther as a ban, I mean, yes, they will most likely pick Rhaegar now. But picking, banning Uther, you can still play that Kharazim. Yeah, Kharazim likes to have more melee heroes around him. But let's face it, it's not like Kharazim would be a bad choice in this case. Not at all. And if you don't want to play Kharazim, you can still play, like, even a Malfurion with this setup. So that would work, right? At least up to this point. It depends a bit on what the HotDog Burglars pick right now. But you could definitely do that. So I'm not sure if that Uther ban is really the best choice here. And of course, make sure that Greymane can't jump in with the Divine Shield, so that helps a little bit. I would be shocked to not see a Rhaegar being picked by the HotDog Burglars, because I feel if they go for anything else than a Rhaegar pick at this point and allow TempoStorm to pick him up, that would more or less make that Uther ban completely useless. So Jaina, as I said, as a range damage would work, and they pick her. Especially, of course, as Falstad is banned out. And that has to be a Rhaegar now. I mean, like, if you limit the options of the supports, then you have to pick a support now. And wait, what? Alright, so Johanna is chosen, and that's going to be a Rhaegar there. That surprises me a lot. I mean, Malfurion can give mana to Jaina. That's nice in the early game. But I don't really see the reason to ban out Uther. I really don't see that. I mean, I suppose if you were afraid of an Uther ETC combo, then alright, but then I would have banned ETC. Maybe there was really the thought process behind it, that they were just afraid of an Uther ETC as a combo and didn't really care which one they banned out. And they just said, hey, if you're willing to play an ETC without Uther, then by all means go for it. We're going to blast you away, especially with the stuns that we already have. So maybe that was the thought process behind it. That's something that I could see. Still a bit of a surprise here. I could have seen them rather picking the Rhaegar themselves instead of like taking Malfurion. I mean, Malfurion, I feel that Rhaegar is actually like better because of the burst heal that he has. Yes, he can't heal himself anymore, but still, I feel TempoStorm got the better healer in this case. Especially with the Thrall, I feel Rhaegar is much better because you can get the on-point heal with the burst heal for Thrall. Malfurion just doesn't give you that, but he has, of course, Tranquility, which can be quite nice for the sustain fights during these battles. He is another liability, on the other hand, if he gets jumped. I mean, like, he doesn't really have an escape or anything. But besides the mana for Jaina, I don't really see a point to play Malfurion in this setup. I mean, of course, if they are starting to like use the roots, but we have a cleanse on Rhaegar that can work against that. I'm curious to see how they're going to play it. I totally expected them after the Uther ban to at least pick Rhaegar. Malfurion on the side of TempoStorm would have even have a bit more synergy, I suppose, with like more into the roots. But overall, I really feel that Rhaegar is the better healer in this setup. I can see a Malfurion against a lot of particular plays. I mean, we've seen him, for example, against Zul with a potential Poison Over, because Tranquility cancels that out quite nicely, so that is really sweet. And there's another couple of like heroes where Malfurion with that Tranquility can really come into play. But this setup that we're currently seeing for TempoStorm is, in my personal opinion, more oriented towards like burst damage. I mean, you have Li Ming that is trying to like burst targets away, you have a Greymane that can jump in as a finisher, and Malfurion is going to have trouble to heal that out. He's great when it comes to like area heal, which is one of the reasons why in the past he was run, for example, against Kel'Thas. But in this setup right now, I'm not quite sure if he's the best choice, because I don't really think that he can go into all of his heal talents. With the setup that is being run here, he will most likely have to make a few adjustments. Maybe on level 13, for example, not going into Life Seed, but into the Ice Block here, which would help him also to get Tranquility duration through on the shrines, which can help. But against burst damage, he's not the best out there. And Thrall kind of wants burst heal. So I feel like a switch there, going into Rhaegar, maybe forcing TempoStorm and something like a Malfurion would have been a bit better for them. Then again, I mean, let's see what kind of game plan they have here and how it's going to work out for them. So let's just jump in. TempoStorm versus HotDog Burglars. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, on Infernal Shrines. The second game is starting on Infernal Shrines, and we have TempoStorm up against the HotDog Burglars. The 1-0 lead for TempoStorm, and they start to the left side in blue again with a Stray on Johanna, one of his favorite heroes. 6 on Rhaegar, we have KO on Zagara, Soldier on Li Ming, and Goku on Greymane. To the right side of the map, as you can see here, Hao on Thrall with Matt Timmy on Malfurion, Boss Floss for Team HotDog Burglars on Muradin. We have Yoda on Jaina and Trader on Lunara. Lunara, of course, getting quite popular in the last game already. She was able to dish out tons of damage. For now, we have again the totem build for Rhaegar here. Knight takes pawn for Johanna. We're seeing the Wolfheart as the level 1 talent on the side of Greymane. And I suppose we could see again that poke build for Li Ming, but no level 1 talent chosen just yet. Besides that, the level 1 also now with a natural perspective already. We have Moonburn, and we are seeing the Rolling Thunder, and the poke is happening. And as expected, it is indeed the Force Armor that has been chosen on the side of Li Ming. So in this case, we are currently in the middle of the map with both of the teams committing to a pretty heavy fight, but of course heroes are going to be rotated towards the towards the top and bot lane to soak experience. So oftentimes at the top you will still see like a solo lane with Zagara going up against Thrall. Pretty standard setup with the heroes that we have in play. And the rotations between the mid and the bottom is now starting up for both of them. And, well, they have the setup that they can really get some kills in there. Keep in mind that especially when we're talking about like TempoStorm, we have, of course, with that one frontline, like a bit of a squishier backline, I want to say. I mean, there's 3 damage dealers, so if you get into the backline, you can really do a lot of damage. But the problem is that especially Greymane and also that Li Ming are going to be able to really focus on a specific target and try to burst it down. So priority targets are going to be Jaina and also Lunara, but that here is a problem. Stray is, yeah, no Iron Skin for him, and this is the end of Johanna. So Johanna going down. A little bit too aggressive there in that move. I mean, the rotations, you knew that there were rotations there, and apparently his Iron Skin was still on cooldown, so he didn't get a chance to move out of this. So he gets jumped, taken out, and that gives now a slight lead in experience over to the team in red. Nothing too fancy yet. I mean, as long as this wave is being blasted away, they're going to equalize the experience for the two teams. But of course, it's all about level 4 right now. At the top lane, KO is starting to struggle a little bit against Hao, as you can see. With a level 1 talent, you have also pretty sweet mana regeneration here on Thrall, and that allows you to just like stay on lane a bit longer. In the middle of the map, we're still seeing already that altar activated, and that means that minions are being accumulated by the team in red here. So the HotDog Burglars are starting to take a slight lead. Level 4 coming into play for both of them, but we still have Greymane at the bottom of the map. Lunara is also positioned. Mana reduction costs on Rega, loss of hope for Johanna, and we see at the same time now dominance taken as the level 4 talent, so Li Ming is a bit worried about her hit points as well. Once again, we're starting to see a fight for those minions, and the first Punisher in the game with a Storm Front maybe taken later, but for now it's the Snowstorm on level 4 for Jaina. And again, Stray going straight in, trying to peel for Soldier. Good job so far, using also his trade to escape from the roots, making sure that that Iron Skin is ready. That's cooldown at this point, but still the poke happening. Very equal amount of minions actually for the two teams, but the red team is getting a slight lead. And keep in mind that during all of this, we still saw Goku going to the bot lane, getting another minion wave. So they have a slight lead experience, but they are about to lose the Punisher here. And they're already moving away. KO gets the kill against Lunara though, well played. But that Punisher will still end up in the hands of Team HotDog Burglars. Great Arcane Orb though. Soldier is nearly dropping Hao here. And with both of these heroes so low, it's very unlikely that the Punisher is going to be able to do too much damage. 6 is going to bait that in. Yeah, they're going to go for the poke here, and the Punisher baited into the range. Nobody moves in front of the gate, which is the important part. So Punisher jumps in, and this Punisher didn't do anything. They couldn't really push with the Punisher because, well, obviously they were very, very low on their heroes. So at the top lane, we're currently seeing another wave taken down. But if you look at experience, TempoStorm is ahead. TempoStorm, even though they lost the Punisher, they are ahead right now, and that's for a simple reason. They always rotated Greymane down to the bot lane to soak the additional minion wave. They made sure that they also, well, they got a kill against Lunara, and they also, like, dropped nearly Thrall. So there was just absolutely no way for the HotDog Burglars to simply, like, go in and try to, like, push with the Punisher without dying. So that was a very smart move by TempoStorm. Gave them experience, and they are starting to hit that level 7 talent first. In kills, it's 1 kill against 1. We're having on level 7 now, talents taken, cooldown reduction for Johanna. Going to be very important for her to actually get her abilities out a little bit more often, of course, especially since she is a solo tank here. We're having cleanse taken for Rega. We see also battle momentum for Zagara. Damage is going to be very important. Ability spam. And look at that creep to carpet already. Very nice creep carpet towards the middle. So really well done here by KO, making sure that the team has very nice vision about the middle or the top half of the map. With the level 7 talents, we still see Li Ming a little bit hesitant. Ayakona, is it you? Not taking the level 7 yet, but there we have it. Calamity has been claimed, and Stray is now starting to push in with the rest of his team and go through the wall here, and that's additional experience that they get. Camps are taken at the same time by the HotDog Burglars, but that also means that they are missing out on the defense in the mid lane here. Already the Enduring Growth taken, which of course means no cleanse. Cleanse in this case is a talent that you don't really need it. I mean, let's be honest about it for a second. Cleanse against this setup is not really a must-have. Yes, of course, after level 10, that's going to be the stun on the Blessed Shield, and against Johanna it can be a little bit annoying at times, but you don't really have to go overboard with the Cleanse. Enduring Growth is going to give you so much additional healing that it would probably be a bit of a mistake to really sacrifice it towards a Cleanse with this combo that you go up against. Besides that, it's a double stun on Mirrodin, no cooldown reduction for him, and we have another Punisher about to be fought over right here with level 9 already reached for TempoStorm. They won't be able to go into level 10 just yet, but they have to fight here. And Zagara is actually still at the top lane, so right now they are willing to give another Punisher up for the earlier level 10, and Zagara can burst through that wall maybe. KO is just sitting there, so they're poking at the bot lane right now. They have to make sure that they're not overextending on the other hand. They have to be very, very careful. If they fall now, if they lose heroes, that would be a disaster for them. But the top lane is still pushed, and you can see level 10 coming to play, but Zagara is still moving down to the bot lane first, and she has to do that, because they need the 5 heroes there, but the Punisher is going to be reached. Level 10s are there, they're trying trying to jump the line, and they go for Thrall. Disintegrate use. Thrall is down. That's the cooldown reduction that Li Ming was waiting for. She's trying to go in the Calamity again, but they were locked down by Malfurion's root. The Punisher is already there, and now they're of course just like trying to defend against that. But in experience, they are far ahead. So they give up the Punishers, they stay on lane, they made sure that they didn't die there, and we have them now with a 1.5 level lead. Very, very cool play from TempoStorm. Eventually, of course, they will have to fight for the Punishers, but at this point, they're still so weak that it doesn't really matter too much, especially when your opponent is behind and cannot push with the Punisher. So really important there. Disintegrate, more Ancestral Healing, Blessed Shield, and Go for the Throat have been chosen as the talents on level 10. Yeah, once again, we are seeing as Ray move away with his Iron Skin here. No pressure. At the same time, Soldier down here against Trader has to be a little bit careful, but we already have help heading his way with Goku, who could use the Go for the Throat if Soldier provides a bit of initial damage. The top lane is heavily pressured though, and that allows now HotDog Burglars to go into their 10 as well, with already Sundering chosen. We have the Avatar. We're going to see Tranquility, Thornwood Vines, and also, at the same time, the Ring of Frost. Malfurion hasn't chosen a talent yet. Don't tease us, Malfurion. Come on, Matsumi. Take your Tranquility. There it is. Don't tease us with a Twilight Dream. It's not gonna happen, and you know it too. At the bottom of the map, still Soldier poking with his builds. Talking about poke, yeah, Traitor is actually eating a lot of damage here, and Soldier was already thinking about going for Disintegrate. Not used yet. We have at the top lane a 3 versus 2 setup, and that experience lead that TempoStorm established early on is just now increasing. They are really starting to work heavily towards level 13. Already, Stray using his shield glare against Thrall, who immediately moves back because he realizes that he won't be able to get any hits in. Down to the bottom of the map, Soldier and Trader are dancing a very, very dangerous dance right now. Vision is there, Soldier realizes it and is saying like, alright, screw it, I'm gonna move away. Trader still wants to... nice. Soldier actually cancelling it again at some point. Right now he's just like, alright, whatever. I'm gonna go in. Zagara is down though, alright. That was a bit of an issue. Zagara down, Yoda is there, a little bit of a laser show. But Boss Floss is not going to take enough damage. The Shrine is active, and of course the kill against Zagara couldn't have been better timed for the HotDog Burglars. They might get a third Punisher. Goku is trying to get the camp down here, and with a level 13 talent, he goes into the Unfettered Assault. We have the camp eliminated, not capped, was kept by the opponent. Unfettered Assault is right there taken. We're seeing the Illusionist. We have also Earth Shield plus Burning Rage. So Burning Rage is going to help you to get a few of those additional minions in. But right now, there's the kill against Thrall. Nice kill by Goku. Yeah, went straight for the kill without even using his ult. Didn't have to go for the throat, and KO is back. So this is now TempoStorm's show. They are talent ahead, and they got the kill as well, which is awesome for them, of course. And they are starting to simply go for this one. Look at the creep, by the way, still everywhere. They were trying to walk against the creep, so KO has a bit of a tougher time keeping those creep tumors in play. But still, they have the vision that they need, and now they're going to get the first Punisher. And at the moment that they were aware that there's no way that the HotDog Burglars are going to contest this, what did they do? They rotated a hero to the top in the form of Goku, and they rotated straight down to the bot lane where he got experience, got the wave, moved into the middle, is doing the same thing here, so they're not losing any lane experience whatsoever. It's one of the most important lessons that you have to learn if you want to play on a higher level in Heroes of the Storm. Actually, like, you should learn that right at the beginning. You never should lose lane experience unless there's a very, very, very good reason for it, and usually there isn't. If you have a chance to get the lane experience without abandoning your team in a fight, then go and take that wave and then move back. Lane experience is incredibly important, and we see that here once again. The Arcane Punisher doing God's work, or TempoStorm's work, depending on how you look at it. And that means that we have a huge lead in experience here already. It's because they were able to soak these lanes the entire time. Like, my favorite example is really Blackheart's Bay, which apparently nobody is able to play in a normal Hero League or Quick Match game. It's atrocious. Like, basically, after the first chest appear on the map, everybody agrees that it's just like time to abandon lanes and run into the middle to fight for the turn. Talking about fights, though, there's the attempt to straw. Rhaegar is down, but the counter kill against Jaina resets already, but Li Ming gets the health because they get another kill in. Dominance is the... Oh my god! Look at that talent. That's it right there. Dominance keeping Soldier alive. He gets kill after kill, reset after reset, a hit point boost after hit point boost that barely keeps him alive. and then with all the damage and him using Calamity as well in these fights, they are getting an entire team wipe after they lost Rhaegar initially. Incredibly well played here, and that's of course now not only a 3-level lead for them, but also a massive push that they can execute once again. So we see them at this point in a very solid situation right now with the level 16 talent, the diamond skin being used here in the fight, which of course makes perfect sense. I mean, that was a pretty intense moment. And we also have on top of all of it now the Earthgrass Totem plus the Holy Renewal. But you can really tell that in this case TempoStorm is running this show. And Li Ming with 28,000 damage is just showcasing why she is so strong in the hands of a good Li Ming player. Soldier, he got the kills in, he got the head points with the dominance. He is playing a great game. So once again we have him up at the top lane right now, lasering the waves away. Yeah, Li Ming players, they love the heroic ability, don't they? It's just like pew, pew, zip, zip. Oh, God. But Soldier has to be careful here. I mean, overall, he didn't even die. Like, Soldier did not die once. He's playing a very, very cool game at this point. And, I mean, I've probably never seen any, like, Li Ming player get so much value out of dominance as a level 4 talent. It's a cool talent to take, but, I mean, this talent won them the fight. And I'm not even kidding. I mean, of course, there was a lot more going on in the battle than only Li Ming getting her resets and dominance, but it literally won them the fight. With another talent there on level 4, Li Ming would have died, and they would have probably lost the fight, or at least ended up with a much worse trade than what happened in the end. Again, more actually saving Zagara. They're trying to go for it. Goku is there. They're jumping on Trader. Here comes Srey going for the Condemn. And they fight. Oh, Li Ming, Laser Show, Calamity, Mad Timmy with the heals. Yeah, well, he gets the heals in, but look at that burst damage. Double kill, triple kill. And that's why Malfurion doesn't do anything against this comp. Too much damage, too much burst damage, and yep, that ice block saves you for a few seconds, Malfurion, but in the end you can't change what happens here. So we have, after this, or level 13, by the way, also unfair advantage. Nature's Culling has been taken to the bot lane, is where they are having another camp that they are currently trying to assist to push this in. Yoda is attempting to at least use what he can to just force them back, but now we have another shrine up on the map. The top lane is being pushed by a camp as well, which is going to put even more pressure, of course, now on this particular fort. Already we're seeing the Wolf heading straight for that altar to get the minions, and this is just looking really, really good for TempoStorm. 3.5 level lead, an easy punish at the top lane. Goku is just sitting there. He's going through the minions. They're stealing the camp away, which is going to push the top lane even more. If they can get like a tower or two here before the Punisher is going to make his way over, it's of course going to be even better for them. And all of this happens with the knowledge that there's a very good chance that level 16 isn't even going to be ready for the HotDog Burglars by the time that the Punisher arrives over here. Which is, of course, a disaster for them. Actually, like, they're going to have level 16. Alright, with the second wave coming in right now, they're going to have enough experience to get at least the 16. Not that it's going to help them too much. Oh, well, actually, if they get the kill against Johanna, that would be great. But 6 is still there. Li Ming, of course, is forcing them back already. And we have, by the way, again, Stormfront and Snow Crash taken. So, once more, Jaina with just like a poke build from a distance, going for the double casting range, increased by 100%, and the third number of Blizzard Waves. So against like stationaries, that can be very nice. If you actually root someone down and get all 3 waves off of that Blizzard, that can be amazing. But of course, at this point, things are looking very grim, and Tenacious Roots just work very well with that Snow Crash. The problem is you have to get that perfect root and to really get some value out of it. And even if you get some value, the problem is that Rhaegar is a healing machine that just knows no mercy, and it's level 19.5 at this point, and they're just going for Fort, and they're going to go for Core. They're already getting a double kill out of this. Li Ming once again with the laser beams, level 20, any moment now, and they're already looking at a setup where they have just everything, like, Jaina is taken down now too. This is game. This is game. The level 20s, they don't even matter anymore here, but of course we have the Temporal Flux. There's also the Invincible. Yep, Matimi with his ult and using whatever he can, but that's not much. And yeah, Zagara's gonna go for a good game more. So finishing the job with 4 level advantage, 15 kills against 3, and TempoStorm advances to the next game, to the semifinal in the winner bracket with a 2-0 victory over the HotDog Burglars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on KhaldorTV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.